alive, I'm so alive. I told the kids they don't have to be quiet. I'm just going to be doing a little bit of a drawing stream. Drawing, inking, whatever you want to call it. Chillin'. Haven't invited anybody in. What am I looking for? My channel. I need to obviously be doing more in the way of art. What's up, P-Money? P-Money, you got your notification? Very nice. Hit that like, hit that share. Let's see if anybody wants to come in here and just watch some old fella do some artwork, because that's all I've been doing tonight. Yow. Hey, everybody's getting their notifications. Check that out. Check it outers. And if you're new here, if you're just stepping into this, this is Art of the Hero with Mike S. Miller, as it says right over there. I don't know. I'm not looking at my thing. Hey, Mr. Dead in his pocket. How you doing, brah? What's up with... Let me check something here. Turn studio mode off. What is the resolution? I'm getting kind of blurry here. Why are you blurry? I don't want you blurry. I want you focused so people can see what I'm doing. So I was on Order of the Green Hand earlier, and I did this piece. Here, if you want to see, let me see if I can find the. What did I have? Display capture. So that was what I did on the computer. Printed that out in Blue Line. Obviously, it's not in a state of finished pencils, so I'm trying to decide if I just want to start noodling with inks. This whole character right now is white, but I'm gonna do like the wispy smoke, and then I want to make this is the Shadow Baby, the Stannis Baratheon Shadow Baby. So I need to find a way to make it look more like a shadow than a physical form. This is Melisandre. She's butt naked, and so I had to be very artistic about how I draped her butt naked form on the cover, because I don't want to do no butt naked woman, you know what I'm saying? Oh great, you're calling yourself old. I'm only 5 years younger than you, which means you're 5 years from being old, I guess. I suppose that's how that works. I need to charge my phone. Do you have the charging? All right. So I did manage to get to... Gosh, weird thing. One of the cats peed in an art bag. And so I had... Not recently. But I had just recently bought my Bristol board. Freaking one of those things peed and ruined an entire package, whatever you want to call it, pad of my Bristol board. So I'm glad I had to go down to pick up my son from jury duty today, because that meant I got to go stop by Blick and get me some Bristol board. Alright, let me pop out this chat so it's more in front of my face and I can read it. Alright, there we go. All good things are ending for you in 5 years, P1. Well, no. Max is a wonderful, wonderful kitty. So I'm not going to blame Max for it. Even if he did it, I will blame the other cat.
Gigi did it.
Gigi. Freaking Gigi. Nasty. You know what? I really don't need to be doing this in pencil. I could just... Pretty sure I can figure out what to do here all in inks. I think I have most of what I need. I think I do. Here's an interesting thing I got at the place, though. I've never tried one of these. It's a Pilot Parallel pen, but I can't use it on this because it doesn't use permanent ink of the sort I prefer. I use permanent... Oh, but what is that? What is that? This is some sort of a dropper or filler or something, because I chopper. Because I know this is the ink well, right? It goes in this chopper. So I do what now? I put this in here, and it breaks the inkwell. Then it fills that with ink, but then it'll fill it with that regular old black ink, and it's not waterproof. I really do want to try it. It is a 1.5 millimeter, and I don't want to try it on this. Oh, where's Elliot when I need him? Elliot would figure these things out for me. So what is this thing for? I feel like I almost need to read the instructions. I'm never one to read instructions, but I feel like it might actually be necessary at this point. What's up, Peter Mike? Just joined when you opened that box. I had max volume. My ears! Well, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not even talking that loud. So, let's see here. Oh my gosh. Cap, nib cleaner, nib parallel plate structure, washing the pen unit. That sounds like a lot of work. Alright, we'll do this at some other time. It's not that I'm that lazy. It's just that I need to get to work. That's kind of the problem. I have work to do. What happened to the box? Didn't this come in a box? What did I do to this thing? Somebody rewind it. Didn't this come in a box? Oh, no, it just had the plastic I ripped apart. Alright. This will go back into the drawer with all the other pens that I haven't had time to mess around with, I'm sure. And then I'll get back to working with my ink. My regular ink. Oh, I did buy some more ink today. Wait. Shoot, no I didn't. No I didn't. Yeah, this is the next Clash of Kings cover. So, I did the breakdowns on the computer. I will do the rest on paper. Alright, so I have here Winsor Newton black Indian ink. This is not what I've been using. I've been using this Dr. P.H. Martin's Black Star waterproofing ink. But I'm going to give the black... I like both of these inks, frankly. This one is a little glossier, though. If I can open it. You know, my hands are a little wrecked from rock climbing, so drop a few drops of the old Winsor Newton. And pray for me, guys. I don't know which quill to use. Should I use this one? This one looks like it's been a little beat up. Might be good for larger lines. Here, let me feel it. Ooh, yeah, it's got a good tip on it. It's got a good tip on it. Gotta leave NCBD tomorrow morning. I don't know what that means, but congratulations. What's up, Kevin Ryan? So my meeting went well the other day with my mom's friend Yoko. I think you guys saw her on the stream. I will be designing some dragon jewelry for her. She has a company that does very, very well in Japan called Light of Ashtar. And she wants to do some dragon jewelry designs with me. Starting with one, we'll see how it does. But I'm like, okay. Seems up my alley since I did used to be an apprentice jeweler back in my ute. And I had a good idea what she wanted, so that will be fun. I will get to that as soon as possible. I need to finish packing up the Meg stuff, but I do have a deadline on this piece, so apologies to my Meg purchasers who haven't gotten their books yet or whose books are not en route, but I did take this job on before I sold your books, so I will get the rest of those done this week. But not today, not today. I wonder if people are like mad rushing to mail stuff out this week. Because, wow, we went to the art store and whew, I had not seen Blick that busy. Probably ever. The entire parking lot was full, which is like something that just never happens. Elijah's asleep.
He's asleep already?
He's been asleep. Well, you know, he got up early and all that stuff.
5. There's some cookies in there.
Cookies? Cookies? These children don't need no cookies.
Hey, Isaac, can you bring the bowls
to survive, sorry.
to the kitchen?
Huh?
Can you bring the bowls?
Do. There's no sun up in the sky, stormy weather. Since you and I ain't been together. You live near a Blick store. I do, Chino. I do. Well, near as in I can drive to it. It's downtown. There is a Blick's downtown. Why, you just order off the catalog, Dick Blick's? The old Dick Blick catalog? Yeah, that's what we used to do before Blick's came in and took over the art store. It used to just be called the art store, and then Blick's bought it. And it became Blick's. So, is it Blick's or Blick? I don't remember. Might just be Blick. I have to insist, I love the details he puts in the hands. Hands are difficult to draw. Yeah, sorry I can't get that a little closer. Maybe I can zoom in the camera. If I zoom the camera in, you can see better what I'm working on. Ooh, yeah. Ink is still wet. Do not blink the ink. So yeah, if you guys want to watch this being created in its full, you're going to have to go to the Order of the Green Hand and check that out. I was on there with Quinn and Mary Ellen. They'll probably both be on Friday for the bullpen. That was fun last week. Tell us about this cover. What's the theme, the characters? Well, this is the Onion Knight, Sir Davos. This is the shadow baby of King Stannis. And this is Melisandre. Yeah, where are my... I don't have any of the sketch cards, but yeah, on the sketch card I've got a little area on the back that's me confirming that this is an official sketch card and that it was drawn by the person. So it's like a certificate of authenticity all by itself. Peter Mike says, what happened with Friday night auctions last week? We're not doing Friday night auctions during the old Christmas season because I don't think that's a good use of my time. Alright, let me see if I can get that. Camera, properties, configure video, zoom, and focus. There we go. Apply. Okay. All right. I'll leave the focus there. That looks all right. I don't care. What did he say? Wait, what? That's right. That's right. Melisandre just birthed the shadow demon with Davos. Davos, recoiling in horror. I've never seen such a disgusting thing in my life. She just birthed a demon right out of her hoochie coo.
I forgot to make a bomb.
Sopa.
Choppa, choppa,
Sopa.
choppa, choppa. What I don't want to do is try to kind of mess with the area that's already inked because it's wet still. But I feel like this ink is just a little too thick to give me a good bead on the nib. Choppa, choppa. But hey, this is an art channel, so I do have to get back to focusing on some art, right? Most of the stuff around the edge, Kirby crackle. No. This is all. I was just dropping in some black. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do some texture, but it's going to be a much thicker, darker texture than what's going on here. So I'm just giving myself some shape. Who was trying to put me down? I'm a big deal in CG. No one humbles my microcephalic brain. That's funny, Victor. That's actually legitimately funny. Good on you, mate. Good on you.
Yes.
Yeah, this ink is definitely just a bit too thick. Let me see if I can drop just a touch of water. Just a touch. It's very finicky when you're using a quill or a brush. The thickness of the water of the ink, you know, a little too thin, and you're not going to get the opacity you're looking for. A little too thick, and it is just not going to run off your brush or your quill the way you want it to. So it is a tricky game. Yeah, see, I'm losing a little bit of opacity here, but I don't think it's going to be. And then when it's thinner, I don't know, you don't get, it's kind of weird to hear, but you don't get quite the kind of line you get when it's pure pigment. So, I don't know, it's funny thing to try to wrestle with. Oh, you guys couldn't even see what I was doing because I was out of eye shot. Sorry about that. So who's looking forward to Star Wars?
Are you?
He said yes.
I haven't heard anything good about it yet.
Is it even out?
No, but there have been people that have seen the previews or the early, you know.
I can spit on me.
Yeah, preview. It's a preview, but it's not the previews. It's just a pre-viewing, early viewing. That's what they call it. That's what they call it.
They're like pooing.
I feel like I may have ruffled a few feathers today when I said that Star Wars wasn't Shakespeare. Sorry. It's just
You should use it. It's not that good.
it's a sci-fi
Wait,
romp
you said
through
there's some
a galaxy far, far away. It's never intended to be space opera.
They summon a fucking guy that fights
What does?
that.
Says someone.
Could I do a Game of Thrones Lone Star crossover?
Summon a guy that fights a
No, I could not. I mean, not
It's kind of sad.
not
10%
legitimately
move
or officially.
movement. You get that much stuff when you're
Mm.
somebody paid for boss battles.
Yeah, you know what is interesting is that a long time ago, George told me that there was no one else besides him. Sorry, I know I keep falling outside of camera range. I should adjust my camera to where I'm at instead. George never wanted anybody else writing anything in his universe. Because I had asked him about doing, other stuff in Westeros. He's like, nope. Nobody ever writes anything in Westeros but me. But I guess HBO threw him enough money where that's no longer a main concern.
Yeah, right?
He got bribed. You got bribed. He said HBO backed up to his house with truckloads of money.
Wow.
Of course, he wasn't being literal, but
Who
Or
knows?
not.
who knows, Who knows what truckloads means?
A million.
Maybe I'll wait for it to come to Netflix. I've soured on Star Wars a big time. I won't throw much money at it. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Do you guys care about seeing the new Star Wars movie?
No.
No.
You don't, Micah?
No one cares.
You didn't even. Did you even bother? Oh, you watched the last one, right? I took you to the last one.
Yeah, all of us went.
And none of
Yeah.
us liked
What didn't you like about it, Micah?
it. It was boring.
It was boring.
There wasn't enough action.
Max, don't you step on my yank. Don't just step on my yank, boy.
Well, he'll drink your wing.
I didn't see 7 because it already pointed that way. I heard he was debating a case of a guy who slit his girlfriend's chest open and steamed her in a giant bowl of hot soup. What the heck are you even talking about?
Is your chat talking about me?
No, Victor just likes to say some weird things sometimes.
Flint Canuck pistol. Okay.
This is me being very, diligent about my work because I really do want to play Age of Empires right now, but I do have real work to do. A schedule to keep and miles to go before I sleep.
Dude, I have like Flint tools for everything.
I got a schedule to keep. Eden's all paid up. Thank you very much, guys.
What's this?
Just asked her yesterday if we owe her any money. She said nope.
Spike bombs. Please, I need help.
So I know it's a fun little meme, but some people are actually taking it seriously and using it to degrade me.
What'd you do?
How odd. How odd that someone would take a funny little meme
Please tell me.
and just start seriously talking smack about me for it.
Spike.
Who would do that? I don't know. Not the gentlemanly sort, I suppose.
Okay, Micah, how do you summon that goblin army?
First,
Don't
you go to Goblin Tinker, you say,
don't really want to talk about it, I guess.
here's some gold.
Oh, if that dude over here did it.
You idiot.
Sandstorm. Oh, he summons a sandstorm.
Jeez, are you
I wonder if. Hey, are you on Steam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it say that Edwin's playing?
Let's just find out.
Yeah, he's on.
I hope you
So
don't
is Bo.
think, Sosbo, that I do that just to mess with you. No. I know you guys don't. I know you guys are just messing around. It's when it leaves this zone of humor and people start using it to badmouth me who don't get the humor. You know,
You just dropped thing.
people are out there saying, "Oh yeah, Mike steals money from his daughter to buy Bitcoin." It's like, no.
Yes. Sounds pretty stupid.
But, you know, when they make the claim, nobody's out there saying, "Ha, just kidding." They're like, "Oh, Mike's a bad parent." That's lovely. Thank you so much.
I think the stuff you make with this sucks.
Yeah, I just stole it.
Mm.
Okay, I'll keep.
Would you prefer we started calling you Yoda? I knew I shouldn't have brought that up.
Except for that hammer. Except for
Get spike bombs.
I knew that was a mistake.
Spike bomb.
Who would even say that seriously? Not even a kiddo would. Just some mental midgets. Some people sorely lacking in their mental fortitude. And emotional. Probably emotional midgets as well. Mental and emotional midgets. What are you talking about? Gosh, this cross-hatching right here reminds me of Gene Haw. Old Gene Haw. I wonder what he's been up to.
Dang it. I'm quick stacking. It's like, where is it going though?
So, I don't know if you guys know. I mean, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Quinn. Ideas of Ice and Fire. But he did announce that I'll be helping him to develop the look of his character for the, or his world, I guess, for the Tadia book he's doing.
What just teleported?
Which will be very cool. I'll be doing it live on his channel. Hopefully that will,
Bro, look.
you know,
Did you?
generate some new fans for me and some interest in his project at the same time. We wash each other's hands and promote each other's business, so to speak. All without having to bend any knees or kiss any rings or anything like that. Just people helping each other out. Nice networking out there. Yeah. The gun confiscation. What? With gun confiscation? Quinn makes some really nice videos. He edits out the phone calls. It did get edited out. It just didn't edit out in time for the premiere. So if you go back and watch it again, that phone call has been edited out. But thank you. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. That's Isaac. He's mocking you. Isaac, don't mock my audience. It's not nice to mock my audience. That's my job. There's enough detail in that hand that it reminds me of Hal Foster. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's
How do you make Red Riding Hood hat?
gives it a good textured feel, I think. I feel like I need to keep texturing this finger though.
You got a lot of charm, bro. Let's just click back everything.
What's up, Nighthawk? I watched the replay and was wondering about those phantom messages. Now I know why. Yeah. Phone calls. That reminds me of when Mike let me and others call him on the air. Yeah, that was fun. Back in the day. But I got rid of that line. Got rid of that phone line. That was like the only time I'd ever used that phone line. I had it for years. Because it came as part of a package deal. They always sell you on the package deal.
Can you come over here with me? Just stand on here. So all the spawn rates just jump up behind me. Do it now, break your legs.
Thank you, Sharon Marlowe. Oh gosh, it is hard to stay in this little zone of where the camera is.
It's a bomb day, Isaac. Or this one's so good. Isaac, watch. Isaac, ready? Shoot, homing bullets.
Changes.
Cha-ching.
Changes. All you ever wanted was a copyright strike.
And then I get 29 cents.
How many people are here? I'm not even looking. Hold on. 30 people watching me scribble on this thing, hey?
Nice.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, watch where you're stepping, cat. Watch it. Come on.
What's the point of asking?
Seriously, Micah.
Do a Bowie accent. Oof. I don't know if I could. David Bowie. I don't know. I don't think I can do Bowie. I don't think I've ever tried before. Max, go away. What are you doing?
Yeah.
He's like crawling around all over all the stuff on my desk. Stop it. Changes.
Goblin.
Oh, shoot, now I can't see where I'm pointing again. Okay. Is this coming out clear enough to you guys?
Goblin Trapper.
I'm reminding you why you don't want a cat. Max is the best, man.
Have you seen picture?
You know, right? He's a shoulder cat. He's lovable. He's a little hug monster. He's a really good cat. Max is best cat. Looks great. Thank you, Sharon.
All our cat are bad, except for Max.
That's not true. You loved Sasuke. You loved all the cats, Micah.
What? Max
You
is
did,
better.
Micah.
Max is better.
Except for Gigi, no.
No one likes me.
That's not true. Mommy and Eden like Gigi.
After a while, Eden started betraying Gigi.
Yeah.
And now Mommy's like, oh no, Gigi's good.
She is. She's gotten much better. I don't know what happened. She got here. She was weird.
The dude I'm looking for. But it's not a drummer.
Maybe it just took her time to get used to the new family.
You didn't drop the thing I wanted.
You're bad.
Which is kind of weird because she was born here. We just kind of gave her to another family who wanted a cat, and then
And then just ditched her.
and then they ditched her on us when they moved into an apartment and couldn't keep a cat. But apparently she didn't remember being born here. And all of her other siblings were already gone.
Drop the spikes.
Cats can be weird like that, I guess. Six gun looks really good. Oh, thank you. She loves you, Ray. She loves you, Ray. What? Max, could you just make up your mind? These are brand new covers for comics that are coming out. How is Gigi? Gigi's fine. Gigi is fine. She's fine and she's getting better, it seems.
Still crazy.
Still a little cray-cray.
Ow.
I got spiky bones.
Wait, what? Why can't I grab this?
She is a little crazy.
I'm sorry.
You're lying. You're not sorry about destroying Max's future.
I will eat you,
Turn and face away.
Sandstone, go. Yay. Flare.
Is Game of Thrones still going? The comic book, yeah. Comic book. Well, this is the second book of the series is called A Clash of Kings. And yes, the comic is still going. What the heck? I said you guys didn't have to be quiet. I didn't say you could frickin' make a bunch of noise.
Well, you said keep it down a little.
I'm not screaming.
So the show is over. Yeah, but they're doing another show based on Fire and Blood, I guess. Which is stuff about the Targaryen reign. I really haven't been keeping up like I should probably.
Hey, Max, stop. You're gonna stop. Stop, Max.
What is he doing?
Pushing everything down.
Dude, oh my gosh. Get him out of here.
Scram, speak. He thinks I'm petting him.
Time.
Scram, cat. Yes, open up the door in your room. I think it's smart.
It can turn on.
Yeah, Max can open windows and doors by himself. That's another thing.
It's not good.
It's not good when you're trying to keep him in the house.
He'll just break out whenever.
Dun, 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 dun,
You have to
dun,
fix
dun,
the
dun.
problem.
By putting wood in the window.
I don't know what happened to all those little window locks that we used to have.
Didn't they like break?
The art
I don't know. That's why I said I don't know what happened to them. Dynamite is the publisher. They are indeed. They're the publisher of the comic books. But Random House does the actual graphic novels.
Ching chong. Ching chong. Ching 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 chong. Ching ching ching.
Can we get a paintbrush?
Is any of the Game of Thrones comics selling well? The graphic novels do. The trades do. The individual comics I don't think sell very well. So long term, they actually might be good for collectors because Game of Thrones will get hot again, and frankly, long term, I mean, Game of Thrones is going to be like it's going to be like Tolkien, you know. It's going to be Lord of the Rings level, you know, zeitgeist or whatever you call it.
No wings.
Everyone, for every generation from now on, is going to know about Game of Thrones. And so these early projects, even the HBO show, I think somewhere down the line, 10, 20, 30 years from now, they're going to do another Game of Thrones series, and they're going to get it right. And you know,
You are weak.
it should be pretty. You know, they've always done, I mean, not always, but they've done all kinds of Lord of the Rings stuff over the decades. I knew what Lord of the Rings was. Never read the books, but I knew what it was from the cartoons, and just everybody knew what Lord of the Rings was, right? That's the way Game of Thrones is going to be in this world. I was going to say this country, but it's really the whole planet. It's kind of neat to know the guy that actually created it. Game of Thrones. Was Game of Thrones a ripoff from Lord of the Rings? No, except in the sense that they're both fantasy genre stuff. Wheel of Time was more of the direct ripoff of Lord of the Rings.
They go back to Ocean.
And
Wait, did Charlie Morton arrive?
I'm not going to say George didn't use some stuff from Lord of the Rings. I'm sure he did.
Where is he?
But, you know, good artists borrow, great artists steal. That's what they say.
I need 7. Okay.
Watching Mike draw makes me want to draw, but it's 1:35 a.m. The thing about digital is you have unloaded tools and colors. Just gotta keep paying the electric bill. Yeah.
After 4 consecutive non-critical strikes, your next turn will hit a mini crit for 150 damage. Wow, 150% damage.
Wait, how do you get that? Does it summon the guy? No, it doesn't. Man, you're really bad.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Summon what? Yeah, sure. Sure not. Okay, let's fight that turkey boss. Why is your sword so big?
How do you get that sword?
I'll have a sword.
Does it work on here?
Why are you calling Kevin Ryan a boomer? Sauron makes you develop bad hobbits. That was bad.
You have to right click it.
Everyone is doing well, Nighthawk. How are you? How does life treat you, sir?
That's magic.
How do I use it?
Click right click again.
Nope.
It's another minute.
We gotta find the biggest sword possible.
The breaker blade. With the wall flesh
The
drops.
breaker of blades.
Wait, give me
I've been bugging Elijah lately about working on the next game, which is my game. It's Pangea, a game I came up with a long time ago. We used to play it quite a bit here.
So fun.
I think I've probably done some videos on it. It's what we based. It is the initial gameplay that we based the Terraria game off of that we were gonna do. Before I don't know what the hell happened with that. But yeah, that'd be a cool game to get out, man. Mass produce.
We don't have weapons.
It's in this
He wants to change the
chest.
dice on the what do you call it? The combat system. He wants to change it from just using dice to something else because it says it all just leaves it up to chance. I'm like, It's dice, dude. It's like
What 5 seconds?
that's definitely something that we've,
What's the biggest sword?
become accustomed to, throughout history.
My sword's already really big on its own.
Dr. Venkman. Howdy, Dr. Venkman.
Wait, is this one bigger?
Do
Bigger, Isaac?
you ever stuff up the inking so badly that you need to start over? Not as yet. Don't jinx me, bro.
Don't tase me, bro.
Don't tase me, bro. You don't even remember what that's from.
I don't.
No, you don't.
Look, Isaac, look at the range. Look at the range. Isaac, look at the range.
Shoot, I'm in that weird position again. Maybe I should.
Hey, yo.
Wait, what did I
Got
put
the
it out
armor.
for?
Micah, do you have any of these? Yeah. Easy. That's
Needs a dedicated chat reader. Oh, I do? I do. I know, bruh. You want to come in and serve that purpose, Bo?
Hello,
Since you're clearly not playing Age of Empires at the moment.
It says he is.
It says he is?
Yeah. But I don't
But he's right here. How can he be?
Wait, I think it just says that randomly though. Because is that like I'm not playing. I won't be playing Terraria or something. I'll just say I'm playing it anyways.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know why I did that.
Hmm.
It's weird. Huh?
He says, I'm awful, but I can read. That's true. I mean, I'm not saying you're awful. Hold on a second.
Bo.
Well done. You got it from Elbow.
It's just Alt Tab. My computer doesn't care about running tons of stuff. Wait, are you playing and on YouTube at the same time?
Well,
That's
I
not
can
that
do
hard.
that.
I do that all the time.
I know, but he's having a conversation on here.
You're probably just listening to me.
Who's been your favorite Song of Ice and Fire character to draw? Asks Long John Lannister. Gosh, that's a good question.
There's a
And
hand
I'm not
after me.
entirely sure I have an answer. I'd say I like drawing Dan. You know what? I really did like doing characters. With Micah, shush. I said you don't have to be quiet. That doesn't mean you have to constantly be making noise. Like, so doing like Robert and Rhaegar in their battles, their battle. I enjoyed doing that in both variations that I did it. I could just cheat and say Dunk, since that's my dude.
Got dunked on.
But I guess that doesn't really count as Song of Ice and Fire, huh? The Dunk and Egg books aren't Song of Ice and Fire. I don't really know. I really liked drawing Jaime Lannister's armor. I did this all white armor of Jaime Lannister, like a freaking golden Rolls Royce of the Middle Ages. It was just glorious.
Oh, yeah.
Would love to hear stories. Mr. E. Knight's question? Mr. E. Knight? Where's Mr. E. Knight? Sorry, I didn't see it. I have to scroll back up.
It says this is highly unstable. Usually.
What?
Is at least items and stuff, so that's amazing.
What am I missing? Mr. E. Knight. Says LOL, yes. Mr. E. Knight. I didn't see another question from Mr. E. Knight. Am I missing it? Any cool stories you want to share from working in the comic book industry? Nighthawk Warrior, do I own the Meg's copyright? I do in terms of the comic book. Or at least I own the license to it. Until such time as one or both of us breaks contract. So yes, and then if it does well enough, obviously not through Indiegogo, but through Amazon, which it has been consistently selling since I put it on Amazon, it may end up that it's worth my time to do the next book. I'm not sure. I mean, I'd probably still do it on Indiegogo, even if it didn't do terribly well, just because it's a good way to get funding for a project. But you know. I'd love to hear stories. Stories. Are you doing a Song of Ice and Fire comic? I'm just doing the covers. Alright, now I gotta change to where I am again. Just doing the covers, not the interiors. What are you mumbling about, Micah? Stories about the comic book industry. Well, there's a story. I don't know if I should tell it. Well, I used to go travel around the country and with the Wildstorm guys because, I worked for Wildstorm and my wife was the, she wasn't my wife at the time. My girlfriend at the time, now she's my wife, was the Voodoo model, as you guys probably know by now. And so I would go with them to North Carolina and Gen Con and whatever cons they were going to, I would go with them. And who was there, because he was also publishing with Wildstorm, was one Paul Smith, who growing up was like my favorite artist. Paul Smith and John Byrne were my two favorite artists. But John Byrne turned out to be this horrific person, and Paul Smith turned out to be this really, really cool guy. So we got to hang out a lot. We got to become friends, and Paul ended up coming to our wedding. So that's kind of I don't know if it's cool for everybody else, but it's a cool story for me. I got my, one of my childhood idols ended up coming to my wedding. So that was a cool story for me. Don't know who else that might affect, but yeah. And then there was this one time we were in, I think we were in Chicago. And my wife, she's dressed as Voodoo, as she tended to be, working doing that job. And this guy comes up. I have this all on videotape somewhere. This guy comes up and starts talking to her like she's actually voodoo. And we're like, whoa. Like, everybody's like worried about this dude. And the funny thing is, he I can't remember what he said. He's just going on and on about how terribly Zealot treats her. And then at the end he goes, "Don't you think?" And then walks away. And like on the video, I like turn the video to pan around to everybody at the booth, and they're all just like eyes wide and jaws dropped, because this dude was just so like cuckoo. I will practice as crazy, that's for sure. What I really like was how easy it was to edit images for YouTube minis. What? Damn fine. What? So, yeah, that's a story. There's a story about a crazy dude who thought my wife was really a comic book character. He probably should have been medicated. Wearing a jacket that lets him hug himself all day. Yeah.
What?
You can get some pretty wacky fans out there. Of course, as you all know, you can get some pretty wacky creators too. Ha 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 ha. Oh, yeah. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me get you a link. I just don't like stopping in the middle of what I'm doing when I'm thinking. Which is why I get frustrated when somebody comes in here and asks me for something. I'm like, leave me alone, I'm trying to draw. You want a link that would require that I start up a new video call, and then go over to copy link to steak. It smells like popcorn.
Steak.
It's not steak. You high? Alright, I'm gonna pop this in here anyway. See if anybody wants to join. Da 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 da. You know what? Oh. I'll just drop it in here. No, that's probably not a good place to put it. I don't want to invite just anybody in.
Huh? Daddy?
Yeah.
It says, are you almost done?
No, I'm inking.
Obviously.
He said,
Aloha.
Ready?
Yep. Howdy.
Holt.
Eve just had to turn off the YouTube video.
Oh.
Poor Mr. Enoch, he asked you the same question like 3 times.
What?
He wanted to hear how you and Doug met, or how you two
How did I not see
collaborated.
that? I rolled the thing up and didn't see that question.
Yeah, he says, just watched your unpacking video of the Earthworm Jim set, which was super rad. How are you connected to that universe, and did you do any art for Tadable?
I did a piece. We did a Earthworm Jim drawn and quartered one week, and he used the piece I did for one of the trading cards. And as to how I know Doug, I've known him via like Facebook for a while. I knew Ellis, and Ellis and Doug have been friends, but I've known Ellis since 1993, and then I met Doug face to face at a Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 years ago, maybe more. I don't remember the year, but it was a while ago.
Face to face. Was Doug laying down?
Ha 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 bum bum. No.
Oh, Mr. E Knight is now happy. He says, "Thank you, stoked that I stuck around. Truly a champion."
sorry. Of this fandom.
Peter Mike would like to let you know that he even tagged you with Mr. E's stuff twice.
Gosh, let me see. Captain Heltz, Awful Redneck Gaming.
And Miss
Mike.
Claudia
Oh, yeah, I
Costa, she's let you know a few times she really likes your hands.
Well, thank you. I much appreciate that. I like my hands too. They come in very handy.
Don't do it.
Sorry, I had to do it. I had to. It was just right there.
Well, when it's within reach. Oh,
That's right. That's right.
Mr. E Knight would say, "I never want to distract Mike. He's a master worker. Let him draw."
Yeah. Thank you, Mystery Knight. Mystery Knight, named after one of my comic books. The Mystery Knight.
Oh yeah, what year?
I did that a couple of years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, I was working on it while I was working on Injustice. So.
Claudia Acosta says she loves Deadpool. Deadpool is one of the first movies in a while I actually enjoyed.
Which one? Do you like the second one too?
The second one wasn't as good as the first, but what sequel is?
Yeah, I actually liked the. They did a PG-13 version. Did you see that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, they did. They had a bunch of extra footage that ended up on the chopping room floor for time reasons, and so they cut out so much of the swearing stuff. They filled it back up with other footage.
Really?
He's awake. Elijah's finally awake.
Good night.
I've been trying to get that boy all day.
Yeah, well, he had jury duty, and then he came home and played video games, and then he was asleep.
He was practicing programming too.
And he was practicing programming, apparently.
That'll put anybody to sleep, man. Peter Mike, in response to me getting Mr. E's question out there, said, "Awful is elevating himself to be the people's champion in front of our own eyes."
All right, then.
I had to throw that out there. Now, Comic Book Hut's doing a good job of that already. I'll leave that to him.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
He's lobbing grenades every direction.
I don't know. Maybe it's just his delivery or something. I don't know.
The man is straightforward. I'll give him that. But yeah, he's slobbing them in every direction.
Yeah.
Gotham Knight, talking to Miss Claudia. "I have not done too much yet, but I want to do more practice doing anime." Costin is a really good anime type fellow.
Yep. So is Weldon.
Yeah. Weldon's got that mix. It's unique.
I'm trying to stay within camera range here.
Looks good right now. Got that hand.
My hand model hand.
Nighthawk's going to bed. Good night, sir.
Good night,
Or is-
Nighthawk.
Good night,
Or
You know what? Like 99.8% 8% of my audience is men, so that's a pretty safe bet any way you cut it.
Yeah, and point zero something percent are non-binary. So,
Isaac, didn't mommy tell you to come in here to come like you go to sleep?
Yeah.
You forgot to tell him to go to
I
sleep?
said sleep, Mike. And then
Peter Mike said, so you were saying Elijah is sending someone to the chair?
What?
Seems extreme.
They just made me sit there for 3 hours and then they released me.
Oh, the jury duty?
You know.
Well, I want to do that.
what is that?
Yeah, he didn't even get called up, man.
You have to go back tomorrow.
I suppose that's better than.
You know, when I was your age, I was the foreman on my jury.
You were leading the charge for the chair.
I was leading the charge for the mistrial because I didn't want to be there trying to argue with people.
What? That's not the mock I've seen.
I didn't want to try to convince people of whatever, It's like then the judge is like, "Are you sure you can't, go back in there and come to a conclusion?" I'm like, "Nah, they're all pretty firm, set in their ways." Mistrial.
I got called
there-
for
there
jury
were-
duty.
The
Once.
thing was, the guy was obviously guilty, but that's not enough to
Otherwise, look at my sword.
convict somebody, right? The prosecution has to actually prove the case.
Mm-hmm.
So there was the contingent of he's obviously guilty, let's just find him guilty. And me and the rest of the people are like, did you not listen to what the judge said? If they didn't prove the case, we can't convict him. They're like, oh, it doesn't matter, he's guilty. I'm like, no, it does matter. This is our legal system. I'm the 18-year-old kid trying to convince these grown people that they shouldn't just throw somebody under the bus because it's just obvious he's guilty.
Yeah. Well, we got rules for a reason.
That's right.
Miss Claudia Acosta would like to let everyone know, and some geek females like her, in response to our earlier conversation.
Well, no, I'm just saying that it's
Possible.
my YouTube channel tells me the stats, and it's like almost unanimously male. But I am happy to have more female viewership. Please tell a friend.
Is Patty good?
Miss Claudia says she is a proud geek. I am a proud, awful redneck, so we have something in common.
You're both proud. Pride is a sin.
I am a awful, sinful redneck. Captain Hilt said he has seen more lovely ladies in here recently. Well, we've got Miss Marlowe, and we've got Miss Lady, and we've got Miss Claudia, and a few more.
Kathy Stark.
Miss Cappy.
Yeah, look, this is the only side of the jungle. I think it's like a tree.
And we don't actually know about Victor. The name could fool you.
That's true. Victor Victoria. They made a whole movie.
I think
Victor. Yeah.
There was a whole movie.
Baby Yoda, the one thing that might save Star Wars.
Baby Yoda. Do. Oh, that starts in an hour.
I was talking to a buddy that's actually been watching Mandalorian, Tuck.
Mm-hmm.
He was not happy with my assessment that the Mandalorian is not quite as stoic and lonely as he should be.
Why should he be?
Right, it just seems like that's kind of their way of doing things, just being, real reclusive and all.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't. Some of their rules aren't making much sense to me. This ink is killing me. You know, so now this is the Mandalorian that gets to go travel around the universe while the rest of them have to be cubbied up in their little hole.
That one is strange.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, is what you mean.
He didn't like my assessment of that one either. He said, "Well, you know, it's because they got beaten really badly, and they're kind of hiding, and they just want everyone to think that there's not very many of them left." But I don't see the positives in
Right.
everyone just huddling together. Dr.
Warmth.
Vankman says he will identify as whatever gets him more super chats.
Ah. Well, you're not going to get any here. But you're free to give as many as you like.
Vankman also says Mike used to be the guy at those state fairs who drew self-portraits with big heads and little bodies. Just joking.
No, I tried that. I tried to get that job at Great America when I was a kid, and the guy there's like, you have to be 18. He's all smug. So I drew a portrait of him and I threw it at him and I left.
Oh. Let's see. Brandon Moore says a force-wielding Mandalorian would be awesome. Why not? I mean, they've done everything else. Why not?
True.
They got bombs that fall in space. I don't get that one. You know, all the space movies I've seen, they kind of launch the bombs, not drop them on people.
I don't know. That didn't really bother me as much as an entire space station only having about a dozen TIE fighters to protect it.
What about the hour-long chase between two ships that were hardly moving?
What about traveling halfway across the galaxy to get to a planet and then stopping on the other side of a planet before you get to it?
And still getting back in time to help.
No, these are... Star Wars has always had incredibly big plot holes. You know?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's not Shakespeare. As long as it's fun, it's doing its job. It's not meant to be something you pour over with every ounce of your freaking being trying to find things wrong with it.
Well,
While that is a different kind of entertainment in and of itself, I do enjoy those Mahler videos where he does that. But, you know, it's like... It's not supposed to be Gone with the Wind.
no.
It's about a bunch of guys shooting laser weapons at each other and using space magic.
Well, I think Luke and Leia, do they not kiss like 2 or 3 times?
At least twice.
I'd call that a plot hole.
That's a plot hole. There's no way they were intended to be brother and sister in the first movie. And then, knowing they were brother and sister in the second movie, he still had them kissing. Ugh. I mean, when Luke finds out, he should have gagged or something. You know?
Mommy told you to go stay half an hour.
Everett Todd asked,
Or you know
why
what?
didn't
He should have gagged or, like, excused himself and then went and washed his hands.
Yes, sir. Or burned his hands. Everett Todd wants to know why didn't a pocket of Jedi escape to the planets beyond the galactic rim? Would have been easy.
What the hell are you guys doing?
Stop saying things they can't say.
There's
Yeah,
another.
right. How come? How is it Yoda managed to escape, but the rest of them got wiped out? But that's the prequels. I can go all day long on the prequels. They freaking were horrible.
I saw one prequel in the theaters and just thought, nope.
Yeah.
and I watched the other two later on as a movie to watch with my girlfriend, now wife, and even that was it gave us a good reason to make out.
Yeah. Those-
And I don't think it was the actor's fault so much as
No, he got some of the best actors. Dude, I love freaking Liam Neeson. I love Natalie Portman, and Ewan McGregor is one of my favorites. Right?
Ewan McGregor is an actual crazy person, but he's an excellent actor.
He's a fine actor, and he's a fantastic singer too.
You're talking about the Moulin Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I, that was one of the earliest movies that we watched when we were dating. This was 18 years ago now. And I give it a B plus. It was pretty decent.
He's got perfect pitch.
I don't know how much of that was kind of fixed post. But,
No, they. You know what? He was in this other movie with Cameron Diaz, where they were supposed to do a karaoke scene, and the gag in the script was that it was supposed to be funny because, people can't sing, but he gets up on stage and he starts belting out these songs with absolute perfect pitch, and they're all just like, well, I guess we'll have to make that work.
John T says no one cares about your boomer takes, Mike. The prequels were decent films.
No, they were not.
I'll compromise a little bit. They were watchable. I don't think they were cinema
not
quality.
Watchable. I cannot stand. They're completely unwatchable.
And when I say they were watchable, I watched them one time each.
Right. Okay, they're not rewatchable.
Because I mean, they were $500 million movies. They got to be watchable. As far as rewatchable or worth much beyond that, I'm sorry.
No, they're crap.
There's so many other like low budget movies that I enjoyed so much more. I might.
Yeah, my point in saying that I love all these actors is they turned in the worst performances of their careers, and that's the director's fault.
I think so. Way too many lovey-dovey scenes between Hayden Christensen and
lovey-dovey? You mean creepy, stalkery?
It was some scary stuff.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, even back then, here I am head over heels for this woman, and I was so
creeped out by stalker.
Yeah.
Don't look at me like that. Why not? Because you're a creeper.
Miss Claudia Acosta, the prequels were watchable, mostly the third one, but the sequels are just bleh.
I would rather watch the sequels over and over again than ever watch the prequels again.
Oh, El Rodimus has an interesting compromise. The prequels were not bad movies because they don't qualify as movies. John T. Revenge of the Sith is far better than the first third of Return of the Jedi and the Ewok crap in the final third.
Well, I watched the Ewoks as a kid, so I don't know. Maybe people that had different takes on it, but I liked the Ewoks as a kid. Maybe because I was a kid watching them. So they don't bother me because whatever, if you want to call it member berry poison, member berry juice, but that's just part of my childhood. So
yeah, the Ewoks were on like my cousin's walls and stuff. They were a little bit older than me,
and that's why I can, when I hear somebody actually likes the prequels, it's usually because they were kids and watched it, and they just have fond memories of being children enjoying a really bad movie. It's like enjoying Howard the Duck. because you were
Yeah.
young and stupid when it came out.
Miss Claudia Acosta says it was disturbing, an adult princess in love with a kid. Had
Yeah.
it been reversed, it would have been even creepier. But for some reason, it was allowed this way.
It was. It was. That was the school teacher thing, you know.
I might share some sentiment with John T on here. He says you'd rather watch the SJW Star Wars than the prequels. That's objectively insane.
Then call me insane. I think the SJW, and I understand all the arguments, but I think they are better directed and they are better acted. Yeah, the stories I think are worse, but the quality of the product itself is actually better.
The digital work has not aged well for the prequels.
No,
and
it
it
has
wasn't
not.
that awesome even back then. And I remember
And you know what?
You
There's
know-
no Jar Jar Binks in the sequels.
George Lucas. There's a video clip of him saying they've got to make Jar Jar work because he's the funniest character they've ever had. And a whole room full of people just looking at him like, "Oh, please, God, no."
Yeah. Yeah, that was painful.
I mean, honestly, I kind of like Jar Jar in small doses.
All right, you
But,
have to leave now.
Okay, I'll see myself out. I'll cut myself later too.
Unfollow and blocked.
And when I say small doses, I mean like maybe 60 seconds in a film.
Like as an hors d'oeuvre. Like,
Yeah,
Butcher.
as like the goofy dude that winds up taking a cannonball or something in one of the fights.
look, if the rumor that Lucas was intending on making Jar Jar into the Sith, the secret Sith, is true, had he stuck with that, it would have absolutely redeemed the stupidity of that character. And explained a lot at the same time.
Yeah, it would kind of be the reverse of how Yoda, was kind of a stupid, mean, little nasty fellow that turned out to be a super wise, good guy for Luke.
Yeah. Well, it would have played on that same sentiment. But instead, realizing Jar Jar didn't work and he chickened out on doing that if that's what he was going to do, he just minimized Jar Jar in the later movies.
I think Jar Jar should have what was intended, not should have, but was intended to be like the kids' toys and masks for Halloween and stuff. And that was going to be like their moneymaker. And they should have just done Chewbacca or something.
Yeah, they were on Kashyyyk at some point in the prequels, right? If I remember correctly.
At some point they are there. I don't know how much or when exactly. It's been a while. I do remember Boba Fett getting wrecked like instantly or something. And
I remember bringing up Kashyyyk on one of Ethan's streams, and he's like, "What's Kashyyyk?" I'm like, yeah, you're a great big Star Wars fan, aren't you?
just the rage portions, the easy crowd pleasing rage portions.
Yeah.
It's big money right now, man, and as long as they make Star Wars movies the way they have been, it'll continue being so.
I don't think they are after this.
I'm sure they had plans. And Solo losing how much money? Tens of millions or hundreds of millions?
I think it lost like $80 million.
That had to be a wake-up call.
I don't know. It'd be nice. I do still want to see the Obi-Wan Kenobi story.
Liam Neeson, I think, was a really cool Qui-Gon Jinn. That might be. I mean, he's too old and chubby now, but um, I don't know. I just really liked Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon.
Ray Thulu said that Yoda was on Kashyyyk when Order 66 came down.
Yeah, and Chewbacca helped him off. I remember.
Yeah.
Who he just happened to have an escape pod out in the middle of nowhere,
Maybe E.T. left it there.
and it's a little bitty pod. I remember now. Like it was obviously only big enough for Yoda, and so my question is, why did he park his pod in the middle of nowhere?
Free parking.
Do they not have like some kind of landing pad, maybe inside the city?
Gosh, I don't even remember. Because I try to ignore. I try to not remember those movies. Because they're so bad.
Peter Mike says that hidden mini ship under the leaves. Yeah.
Well, was he on
So
a
many-
secret mission to Kashyyyk?
Was it secret? I thought they were just trying to help the
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
I think they were just some kind of open conflict, and they were there trying to help. Because another one of those weird dialogue scenes that I remember. All the Jedi are talking about the war and everything, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh yeah, Chewbacca's planet's about to get wrecked. Maybe we should save him." And it's what? Yeah, maybe you should.
It would be nice.
And I remember another scene. Who did? What character was? Oh, I'm gonna get some serious crap now. Super famous black guy. Everyone on the planet knows who this man is. Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And so, at one point, Hayden Christensen comes up to him and says, I think this guy's a Sith Lord. And so Samuel says, well, we must make haste. And they start walking. Not a brisk walk. They just start walking. Yeah, Mace Windu.
That's some haste for you.
Not even a brisk walk either. And they're just walking nice and slow. OP Dog he set me straight. Morgan L. Washington. I don't know. And, Mace Windu, he's got some serious potential for being some kind of standalone, too, in my opinion. Too bad he's probably dead. They didn't actually show him die, I guess.
He was horrible in those movies.
Well, yeah, I just mean Windu in
Horrible.
general. Yeah, I just mean the character,
Oh my gosh, it's the way he handled his lightsaber when he was going after Jango Fett is like
Yeah.
it's like some janitor waving a wet mop around. It was like just it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
But-
brother.
But as far as Windu himself, because I think Windu is darn near like a gray Jedi. He's able to use some of both sides. And I think that's pretty neat. But yeah, they should have just kept Samuel in a chair so he could talk or something.
If
Or
he's
walk
if
briskly.
he's close to being a gray Jedi, then why on earth would they have allowed him on the High Council?
The same reason why, I think it took a long time for Qui-Gon to get that high too, because Qui-Gon was considered almost gray. But to be a gray Jedi didn't necessarily mean a specific thing. It just kind of meant you didn't listen to the Jedi as well as they wanted you to.
You're a bad monk.
Basically, they'd call you gray over just about anything. The worst part about the new films is that it made me feel more sympathetic towards the Empire from John T. I really wasn't rooting for either side, to be honest. I just
The thing that makes me not root for the Empire, but root against the Jedi Order, is finding out more about the Jedi Order.
they brought a lot of it on themselves.
Heck yeah. That's why is when Luke said that in the last movie that, you know, the Jedi Order is just a history of failure. I'm like, yeah, I've read the books. They are. They are absolutely, and the movie, not even just the movies, but the books too. You know, the Jedi Order is just one legacy of failure after another.
Oh yeah. Jay Hamilton says Grey Jedi isn't canon though, is it? I'll be honest, Jay. I read bits and pieces.
Oh wait, no, the books aren't canon anymore, are they?
Because they did away with a chunk of it, and I don't know. Victor says, I thought Chewbacca was introduced in Solo, or was he in the prequels?
He was in the prequels.
Yeah, he helped Yoda off, and I think he might have been there one or two other times for a little cameo. Ray Thulu, the Palp clone stuff used to be canon in the EU.
Yeah.
The Palpatine clone?
Yeah.
Too much retconning. I'd rather them just start a whole new universe than to retcon so much.
Well, I mean, like what they're doing with The Mandalorian, just kind of stepping away from the Skywalker saga. And I know people are like, it's all about the Skywalkers. It's like, well, obviously it doesn't have to be. It's an entire universe.
A big one, too.
Yeah. It's a galaxy.
Brandon Moore says, the coolest character in the prequels was the cook in episode 2. Difference between knowledge and wisdom. I'm trying to remember the cook.
Me too.
I'm drawing a blank. Is it that horrible scene where it's like an old-timey bar looking setup?
Why is this quill not helping me? I need to swap out. The fact that the Emperor never named a successor was dumb. Wasn't his successor Darth Vader?
I thought originally, but
then he wanted Luke Skywalker to strike him down and take his place by his side.
Exactly.
Which was also bad writing. Why? Luke was not strong in the Force. Not like Darth Vader was.
I have my doubts that Darth Vader was originally Luke's father.
Oh yeah, of course not.
Yeah, Brandon Moore says it was a diner. Yeah, I remember that scene then. And the cook, I think you're talking about, it's like his big green, I forget what species he's supposed to be, but I don't remember that scene very fondly, though. It seemed kind of out of place for the movie. It was interesting. Claudia Acosta says, yes, but come on. They just did canonize the books.
They did?
I don't know. Maybe that's
recently? I hope so. Oh, they just discanonized?
Discanonized. See, that's my redneck
I want
reading.
the books to be canon. Although, if the books become canon, that means that the new movies aren't. Right?
That might be for the best.
Yeah.
I think maybe they just need to go back to somewhere during the second or third original, and like Vader wakes up or Luke wakes up, and there's like a helmet in his bed, and or something, and just start over.
What's up, Super Plus Ultra? Super Plus Ultra.
First time I've seen Super Plus Ultra.
Yeah.
Hello, new fellow.
Looks like he's been there for 2 years.
No, Super Plus Ultra. What book is that? That's Matt Weldon's book, isn't it?
Maybe. Gotham Knight says Darth Bane was the one who had to learn how to cheat death long before Plagueis.
But he didn't.
Now, is
He
Bane the
he
one
tried.
that tried to kill all the Sith?
Bane is the one that did kill all the Sith.
Okay. With a bomb of some
Yeah.
sort, right?
Yeah. The Sith bomb.
I've read a lot of the Cliff Notes, so I got the gist of some of it.
Yeah, and he tried to take his apprentice's life, well, or enter into his apprentice. But from my understanding, from my reading of the novel, he was unsuccessful. If someone has a different opinion, whatever.
Everett Todd says, "Yep, Weldon drew that too." I assume talking about Super Plus Ultra.
Yeah.
Everett's he's in the know.
Yep. I think he did. They hinted his apprentice acted like him. I read the books and I feel he succeeded in ways. I don't know. I don't think he did, but that I'm fine with being wrong if I'm wrong. It just didn't feel like it did to me.
Gotham Knight says, "I think that explains why Palpatine wanted Luke to kill him so he could possess Luke instead." So Palpatine, when you say possess, do you mean control or literally possess?
I don't know. Is he trying to play this into the Darth Bane thing, saying that Darth Bane kept passing along his, and that's the thing, is if Darth Bane was successful at passing along his life force and taking over another person's body, then wouldn't he have just kept doing that after his other bodies were worn down?
You would think that would be something. I will say though, Full Metal Alchemist does the same type thing, except they kind of put a break on it by basically saying after so many jumps, I don't think you can jump anymore because it just weakens you too much. I think that's Full Metal Alchemist. Excellent anime.
Yeah, I've only seen parts of it.
Well, the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood made up for all the mistakes that Full Metal Alchemist did.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out sometime.
I mean, they just redid it, the whole thing. I've never. Is there any other anime where they just redid everything, and just decided to redo it and do it the right way? Because I can't think of any. Berserk, maybe they redid Berserk.
I have no idea.
And I think they redid Evangelion, but I don't think they finished either one. Raythulu, inhabit the body of. And Everett Todd says the rule of 2 is dumb. It does seem like an unneeded restriction.
It's not dumb if it's like something that you can, it's not, it's like the rule of two within the confines of a relationship, right? One student, one master, one student, one master. But if it's the rule of 2, you can only ever have 2 Sith ever, which is the way it is. That's dumb, right? I mean, I understand it. I understand the concept of wanting all of the dark force power to reside within 1 or 2 people instead of it being, washed out through hundreds or dozens or whatever. If that's how the force even works. And that's another thing. It's like nobody really understands how the force works. These are all a bunch of religions trying to figure out how something that does not explain itself, because it is not a conscious being, works. And they take their dogmas and their doctrines as fact, and then say that anyone who disagrees with them is a heretic.
Yeah, the prequels also introduced the metachlorians. Have they just kind of conveniently forgot about that stuff?
I think they've tried to mitigate it. I'm trying to remember. There was something in Darth Plagueis, the book, that I think tried to mitigate it somehow. I can't. If any of you other guys have read Darth Plagueis and you know what I'm talking about, let me know if you remember.
There's another YouTube channel that I watch that talks about Star Wars stuff, kind of like the one you do, but they're more satire with it, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty funny. And they've done, I think they've done every Star Wars movie.
Oh yeah.
But Red Letter Media, they got some seriously foul mouths. But,
I've seen some of their stuff. Those guys are funny.
Pretty funny, and they put some effort into it. And they've been doing it for a long time too. I think they're all professional video producers and stuff, and filmmakers, what have you. But
Who's the guest? Asks OP Dog. That's no guest. That's Awful Redneck Gaming.
Awful.
He's one of you guys. He's
just a fan.
He's here to read the chat, so that I don't have to look up constantly.
Yes, sir. Brandon Moore says the midichlorians was the stupidest thing from the prequels.
Yeah.
Rodwell Stevens says the rule of two, I assume is what he's talking about. It's stupid. The apprentice is always going to try to kill the master.
Yep. And then when the apprentice is strong enough to kill the master, that's when you know. That's how they strengthen the Sith. Because you have to be stronger than your master to kill him. Supposedly. Because I remember Bane was just mad because his apprentice, or he thought his apprentice was waiting for Bane to get sick to kill him. And he's like, that's not what it's about. You're supposed to try to take me on at the height of my power. And thereby, killing me and ensuring that you're more powerful than I am. But to take out your master when he's at less than peak, it weakens the Sith.
It's a low blow.
Yeah. But he was more concerned about strengthening the Sith and the rule of two than he was about his own life. So he was a fanatic.
That's a verified mean guy. Couldn't say the rest of it. Elrodimus Flash. The Emperor was teasing Luke. Watch the movie, people. Luke was no match, but giving in to anger, murder would lead to his fall.
Yeah.
I think we're going.
We've seen it. Everybody knows that. This is not a revelation. Sorry.
Let's see. Elrodimus. The prequels introduced a lot of cherry-picked from fan fiction. Like the Sith. In the originals, that was a proposed name of Vader's Star Destroyer. Doesn't surprise me. That they would just come up with stuff on the fly.
Wait, the Sith? No, that can't be right. I don't know if they ever said it in the movies, but I remember having Star Wars trading cards that called Darth Vader the Dark Lord of the Sith. So it wasn't the prequels. It was pre-existent.
Maybe so. Now, do you remember a scene in the originals where Palpatine, I can't remember, he picks up Luke's weapon or has Vader do it or something. He says, this Jedi weapon, talking about a lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he call it a Jedi weapon if the Sith all use it?
That's a good question.
Because I mean, we know why Vader used it because he used to be a Jedi. But Palpatine didn't use one.
Not until the prequels.
Yeah, that Yoda fight was so bad.
All of the fights in the prequels, except for the Darth Maul fight, were bad.
I just they were throwing stuff at each other more than anything, and it's like apparently the Force is for throwing things.
Yeah, it's for lifting very large rocks.
Which Rey makes fun of, and then immediately picks up a bunch of rocks.
Yeah, but that's the gag.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, haha.
It's called foreshadowing.
Shadow Form.
And you know what? A movie that's got good foreshadowing, Spaceballs. Which is where that one commander guy should have been. Whatever his name was, the little Nazi-looking guy that's always
I
shouting.
know, dude. It's funny because I've seen that guy in other movies and I like him as an actor, but man,
He was hilarious in the Star Wars movie. The problem was it didn't feel like it belonged there.
Yeah.
To me, anyhow. And you'll notice too, this is me just whining, I guess, at this point, but Rey is lacking in a lot of the asset department, and Kylo Ren is very androgynous. The belly shirts and whatnot are kind of strange.
Kylo Ren is androgynous?
In my opinion, yes, sir.
Dude, that guy's yoked.
He is, but
How's that
the clothes that he wears, have you seen them? They're what a stripper might wear.
What?
The tight leather and the belly looking shirts and his
Well-
pants that go up to his belly button and
So he likes Z Cavricis. What's the problem?
I'm a redneck. This stuff appalls me.
He's a dandy, says John D. He's your Huckleberry.
You guys might find overalls to be funny. I find pants that go up to your belly button to be even stranger.
That was very popular in the 80s here in California.
Sorry to hear that.
I'm just waiting for that style to come back because I know eventually it will. Z Capriccis will make their return.
You have a whole closet full.
Nah. There's a picture of me wearing some, though.
Brandon Moore, primary weapon of the Jedi is a lightsaber. Sith is the Force. Yeah, until later on, then they all have a lightsaber.
Yeah, and in the books, well, actually the books I'm talking about are post prequel books. So, yeah, I'm trying to think of what was in the Timothy Zahn and Kevin J. Anderson books as far as Sith weapons. Hard to remember. It's been a long time since I read those.
Yeah. I mean, really the only weapon that I remember beyond the lightsabers, Darth Maul's little lightsaber version. The bow looking thing. Super Plus Ultra. It drives me crazy that the prequels make the Jedi dress in Tatooine robes, so Obi-Wan was hiding dressed as a Jedi.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, Miss Marlowe's laughing at me. Let's see. John T. Kylo Ren is a dandy, and so is Lando in Rogue One. Poor
That's
Lando.
true.
I mean, honestly, the name of that fellow escapes me. He is an incredibly good actor, but he's bat crap insane. And it felt more like he was doing a Lando impression than just doing Lando.
You mean Danny Glover?
Yes, yes, sir.
Mm.
And the whole robot love thing, okay.
Yeah, whatever, man.
A feminist robot love thing.
Yes, you must fight for your freedom as a robot because now it's Terminator.
There's only one Terminator. There should have only been one Terminator anyhow. Maybe two.
That's right.
The second one
Nope,
was
nope, don't say it. You were right. You were right there, dude. The second Terminator movie was not good.
Oh, you're going to get some bombs lobbed at you, and I don't want to stand anywhere close to that.
You just said it. You just said it, and then you backed away from it because you're scared.
I'm a redneck. I'm not stupid. Let's see. Claudia Acosta says the worst of Kylo was he was not using his mask. He really didn't use his mask that much for it to be such a big deal. He used it very little.
Yeah, X Factor. Old Ben Kenobi. Good name change. Nobody will figure that out. wonder if he means
This is a little
old
bit
Ben.
of a break from that, but have you ever seen the old horror films like Dr. Frankenstein? The Hammer Films did a series of Frankenstein, and in one of those movies, Dr. Frankenstein is hiding, and his name is like Dr. Stein.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets found out, and so later on in the movie, like the end, they call him in and they're like, "Thanks for coming, Dr. Frank," or something. It's like, dude, no wonder you keep getting found out. That was a break. Miss Claudia Acosta says, "Please don't remind me of Terminator. I am begging here. T3 was the worst piece of," and there's a lot of symbols there.
T1 was freaking brilliant. T2 was too much pandering and too much freaking trying to make it funny. And nah, I couldn't take it.
It's one of those movies, it was an extremely expensive movie to make, and so it's watchable, but
Yeah, it's watchable.
it's one of those movies where it's like, maybe once every few years.
Except I want to punch Eddie Furlong in the face. I don't care how old he is.
That poor boy, leave him alone. He's gone through enough.
He's old enough now, though, that I can punch him in the face for the way I felt back then.
Karma caught up to him. It dealt with him.
I wonder if he hangs out with the kid that played young Anakin.
Oh, that poor boy.
I know.
I read he was talking about how he was getting bullied for being in that movie, and I believe it.
Oh, yeah. Heck
Poor
yeah.
kid.
I would bully him today.
Oh. Oh. X Factor. The new movie has good action. About the only thing good about it. The new Terminator movie. Yeah, I heard it's not as bad as the trailer made it out to be, but it was bad for different reasons. I heard that the lady Terminator, the LGBTQinator, was actually pretty good. But watching the old folks try to act was pretty brutal. And the girl who basically replaced Eddie Furlong, because, why set up, this boy being like the savior of everybody and then just shoot him immediately? Why not just replace him with this angry girl?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and skip that one.
I agree. T2 was the first soft remake. I don't want to hear a Terminator say, "I know why you cry."
I know why you cry now, but I can never do it.
And I guarantee you, he was not crying while that check was going into the bank.
Mm-mm.
El Rodimus Flash. All the prequel movies teach us is in Star Wars, people grow a foot taller when they age. Han, Lando, Obi-Wan. I have to process that.
Because he's saying the actors are shorter. The new actors are shorter.
Oh, that seems to be the trend. You know, back in the day, this is another break. Actors, they tended to be pretty good size. John Wayne was over 6 foot. That sort of thing.
They also went to war.
Well, true. Yeah.
Bunch of veterans in the acting community back then.
John Wayne, he actually went bald at an early age too. He wore a toupee for most of his movies.
Well, he and Bill Shatner have that in common.
Yeah, but John Wayne was really good at wearing one.
Why you gotta hate on Billy Shatner, man? Jeez.
Well, I'm a redneck. A true story though. John Wayne, back in the day when
You're really gonna tell John Wayne stories?
No, this will be a quick one. I'll find $10 at the end, and this is back when 3 channels was a lot of channels for poor folk like me, and the only cartoons you got were Saturday morning, and that was only for a few hours, but Friday night the TV would just go to static at a certain time.
Yep.
I think it was around midnight, and yeah. And John Wayne read something off. I can't remember what it was, but John Wayne read something off, and that was one of the last things I'd hear at night.
Oh,
Good dude, that guy. And
was it something along the lines of, now if Russia decides to launch nuclear warheads in the middle of the night, just remember, Jesus loves you.
maybe.
Worst John Wayne impression ever.
My impressions are only of rednecks, so about all I can do is, dang it, Bobby.
Dang it, Bobby.
Let's see. X Factor. I love the Duke. Yes, the Duke is pure love. And in a cowboy way, and not Brokeback Mountain. My cousin went to see. She went to. She's a big cowboy type. I mean, they actually like rodeo and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she saw this movie in theater. She's like, Brokeback Mountain, cowboys. She walked out so fast.
Yeah. Was it because he didn't use enough spit?
I just can't quit you.
I have never seen that movie, and Cecil was showing, talking about a part of it where never mind. I can't even. Not on my channel.
And that movie won how many awards? And it was one of the worst grossing movies of all time.
Yeah, that's what you have to do to win awards in Hollywood. Fail miserably, but have the right message, which is the wrong message.
Miss Claudia Acosta, get back on the topic that I railroaded us off of, I guess. She says, and why the Hades do they kill John Connor? Exactly.
Because he's a man.
When they turned John Connor into the main bad guy, I thought that was horrible enough, but
Wait, what?
I forget which Terminator movie that is, but the he gets infected by some liquid Terminator nanite thing, and so John Connor's the one that winds up going back into the past to kill them all.
What?
If you missed that movie, you're so lucky.
Is that the Genesis?
Yeah,
Gosh, I don't even remember that part.
I felt assaulted the whole time I watched that movie.
Huh. But I liked the guy that played the guy that was part Terminator.
And oddly enough, that's probably one of the worst received ones. With Sam Worthington. Is that his name?
Spot? No, I don't know.
And then Mr. Yells a Lot, Christian Bale.
Yeah.
I read that Bale was actually supposed to play the Terminator, and he decided that I think I read the script was focusing a little bit too much on Connor, so he wanted to be Connor instead or something.
Really. Sam Worthington and Christian Bale. Look at that.
And
Look at that. It's rocks. All drawn out of lines.
really well rendered rocks.
Why would I just go in here with a brush and finish this in 20 minutes when I can spend all night rendering some rocks?
I'm going to give this one a try, Miss Claudia. She's my queen.
She is my queen. Donnie, she's my queen.
Donnie, my queen. I can't do it.
No, not redneck enough.
Now he's like hillbilly. Rednecks are a little different. We live up the hill.
You're the hoity-toity.
We're the mountain men. Gotham Knight says that was Salvation Bale was in.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was Genesis?
Genesis was the one where John Connor gets infected by the nano Terminator thing and turns all evil.
Oh, is that the one with Dany from Game of Thrones?
The girl?
Yeah.
Yes. The one that drives up and says, "Come with me if you want to live," only because, hey, remember Terminator 2?
That's in the first one too. It's been in every single Terminator movie, hasn't it?
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Yeah. Reese says it in the first movie.
And the actor of Reese,
Michael Biehn.
man, that guy was really good in like Aliens. And it sucks that they didn't get him back for the next one because
The Abyss.
they just. Which one?
The Abyss.
The Abyss. That's an underrated movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. After the second Alien movie, they kind of went off the rails.
You mean after Aliens? Alien
Yes, sir.
3, where they ruined all of the point of aliens. Spend the whole movie trying to save this kid and then just end up killing her in space before this next movie.
Off screen.
Yeah.
And of course, they killed Michael Biehn off screen, and the android. That guy was really cool. What's that guy's actor's name, man? That guy's really good.
Lance Henriksen.
Lance Hendrickson is one of the best character actors I've ever seen in my life. And like he stars in a trillion movies, most of them bad, not because of him. I think he just enjoys working.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen him at a Comic-Con yet.
Really? I don't go to Comic-Con, so had I known that Weldon was coming to my town at some point this year, I might have gone and seen him. But this redneck's too busy to drive very far.
Yeah.
Stone Cold with Bosworth was great. Are we talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin or Stone Cold the movie and Bosworth an actor?
Mm-hmm.
I think Steve Austin's actually a pretty decent actor.
I don't remember what he was in.
Mostly low budget stuff. He actually does a podcast. He's semi-conservative. Claudia Costa. I am convinced that the creativity in Hollywood died in the 80s or 90s. They are just relaunching franchises and destroying them. We have Ghostbusters, Terminator, Star Wars, She-Ra.
Yeah, what is the point?
Originality is dead.
No, I don't think it's that. I think there's a greater point to this. I think it's like them trying to tear down all the statues, right? They don't want us to have our heroes. So
maybe so.
They have to erase the memory of our heroes with even our fake heroes, even our Hollywood heroes have to be turned into jokes.
We know that they don't operate, completely off of profit because they make a lot of stupid mistakes that surely they knew they were making.
Comic Book Bob says it's revisionist history, but it's revisionist history of fiction.
Yes, sir. Everett Todd says 40-year-olds have money. Generally, they do.
Wow, I'm so much closer to 50, man.
Well, I'm not too far behind you, I guess. Super Plus Ultra. I think it's confirmed that movies died in 1996. Culture is stagnant.
No, there have been some good movies.
There's been a few.
John Wick.
John Wick, you mean gun dancing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the gun ballet. I don't know if he's wearing the right shoes for all that, though.
I love that he's wearing bulletproof suits.
That's cool.
Right?
And I really enjoyed John Wick. I will admit I haven't seen the other two. And when I say I enjoyed John Wick, it's not because it was some kind of deep story. I understand the attachment he had for the dog. I got a similar situation, but a little overboard. Because he could have just went and got the guys that did that, but he just tore down the whole thing.
Yeah, he was mad.
X Factor 04. Everybody going to TV now with all the online services, so many choices. Do you think that's where the money is going?
Seems like it. It's like people don't want to go, pay $15 for a movie ticket anymore, especially if I don't know, maybe they're trying to destroy the movie industry and bring it all, into, I don't know, I'm just looking for reasons why they're doing this self-destructive garbage. But if you're forcing people to be antisocial and stay in their little homes so you can program them better, maybe they don't mind losing the entire movie industry.
Yeah, I'm not. My brain doesn't work in a manner that would allow me to fix what they've done, but I can see the train crashing.
Rolling around the bend.
Victor, last time I went to jail, I almost killed a guy for taking my dog, the one I lost and was my only friend for 7 years. She had long, beautiful hair.
Hmm.
Poor Victor. X Factor. See on Apple TV completely surprised me as a new ideal for a show. Very well acted when you're supposed to be blind.
Wait, what is it?
I guess it's a show
Oh,
called
See.
See.
I see.
I guess I'd have to see that because that seems strange. You'd think they might do radio. Everett Todd, the guys that killed John's dog and stole his car was the mob boss's kid. True.
Yeah.
And the
Theon-
mob boss was
Theon
most
Greyjoy.
scared. That was probably part of the best part of the movie when the mob boss finds out,
Yeah.
and he's just like, "Well, we're all dead."
Yeah. No, it's when he calls the mechanic. Yeah. You hit my son. Ah. Okay.
El Radamus says there have been so many good movies. It's just the people that cry the loudest only see mainstream crap. True.
Yeah, what
and
I just saw.
and the good movies get all the worst budgets, and so a lot of people won't go see that.
Jumanji was good. The new Jumanji movie's good. Go see that.
I heard it was good.
Yeah, I just told you.
Did you?
Yeah.
Dennis Peruch is here. Hello. Just got back from seeing Richard Jewell movie.
Oh, how was
How-
that?
He says it's a powerful statement on media and FBI, especially when paralleled with FISA events.
Hmm. But was it good?
It was powerful.
Yeah, so's my farts.
Well, I'll leave that one there. X Factor 04. A plague hits our world, wipes out all but 2 million people. Now, fast forward 500 years, everybody that survived is blind and been living in the dark. Everything depends on other senses.
Huh.
Oh, is that the premise for that show?
I guess so.
Sounds interesting.
That is interesting, actually. Better than that movie where blind or see or smell or hear or whatever
Bird
stupid.
Box or something?
Yeah, that stupid movie.
Is it Bird Box? Is that what it's called?
I
haven't
think
seen
so.
it. I have not bothered seeing that yet.
I just. And that thing inspired people to actually try to drive and stuff blindfolded.
I know. I was watching one with the police report, and the police, the cop was sitting there trying to explain what happened. He's like, just shaking his head. Yeah. What the hell's wrong with people?
Sometimes I look up and I wonder, where is that merciful asteroid that's just going to wipe all this out?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Mr. Dennis Peruch says, yes, Richard Jewell was very good, better than Mike thinks his flatulence is good. I gentlemaned that up a little.
Thank you.
I'm classy.
Yeah.
Every now and then. Every now and then I'll knock the mud off my boots.
Hmm.
A lot of people letting us know it was Bird Box. Thank you. El Rodimus Flash says, with studios owning streaming services, it only benefits them not to show in theaters. They keep all the money, no sharing with theaters.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that. Good thinking.
And meanwhile, the theaters thinks that selling the sodas for $10 to $15 a piece are going to save them.
Right. We actually went to this $6 theater, so it was like, 1990 prices for movies, and that's every day they do that, and it's First Run Movies down here in San Diego. But it's like 20 minutes away, so I have to decide if I want to drive all the way over there or spend the extra $50 to get my family in to see a movie.
Decisions.
I know, right?
We actually still have a drive-in theater.
Yeah, we have those too.
Yeah, but ours is like really old.
I don't think they built any new ones.
Well, I just knocked my house down. Let's see. Everett Todd, I missed the movie Armageddon. I'm going to leave Armageddon in my memories because I remember it being a good movie, and I just feel like it wouldn't be quite as good now.
No, I don't even remember that being a good movie.
Oh, it had a lot of really good actors.
I'm sure it's better than the prequels.
Armageddon. Am I thinking of a different movie? Armageddon. That's the Bruce Willis movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a Michael Bay film, I believe.
I didn't realize there were prequels to that movie.
No, Star Wars prequels.
Oh, those. Well, that's a low bar.
Yep. It wasn't just fun to watch.
That bar's so low you got to pry the planks off your floor to find. X Factor. We have a drive-in 15 minutes from the house. 2 screens. They play 2 movies each for $7 a person. That's really
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
I think everyone should go to a drive-in at least once.
Before they're gone.
Yeah. Before their parking lots.
Yeah, I think
Ray-
we have a couple of them in town here.
Ray Thulu says, I'd say Armageddon was a fun movie, not a good movie. Well, I would say that. It had a large number of interesting actors. The part that sticks out to me the most is the Russian guy. At one point, the station breaks down for whatever reason, and he's like, Russian components, American components, all made in Taiwan. And he starts beating it with a wrench or something.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was pretty. I enjoyed that part. Especially under the circumstances that they were in.
Mm-hmm.
X Factor says, I just wanted to feel the power between my legs. Yeah, the guy that was riding the nuke in Armageddon. I think he got space sickness or something.
Okay, we can stop talking about Armageddon now.
Oh, Mike is bored. One more. X Factor says, this is how we fix things in Russia.
No, not picking on Baby Yoda. Watching Mando episode 7. Oh, that's right. Started at 12 minutes ago. We could do a
Whoops.
live viewing of that.
I dare you.
Well, I could do it on D Live.
I think me and Jay might be the only 2 on D Live right now.
Well, that'd be funny. That'd be one way to build your audience. Hey, everybody, come watch Mando. If you don't want to pay for HBO or Disney Plus, just come watch Mando with me on D Live.
Will D Live not like?
Nope.
Okay.
In
Nope.
Where are they based from?
They are decentralized, like Bitcoin.
Oh, I did not know this.
Now you know.
Knowledge is power.
Yep. The power to break copyright law.
I don't know if I'd test it too much, though. That's all you need is one more thing these goobers can say. Oh, look, big, nasty Japanese man hides under my bed at night.
Wait, what?
That's, oh, I was being mean. I'm going to back away now.
All right.
I don't want to get you started on the
Rodwell
on the
Stevens
talk.
says it's called freedom.
Freedom. Let's see. I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, babe, and I don't want to miss a thing.
Oh,
Okay.
what's
Yeah.
that? Oh, Ray Thulu.
Yeah.
Don't
Hey.
wanna close my eyes.
Well, I forget what her name is, but her daddy is he's the singer. Yeah, that narrowed it down, didn't it?
Yeah.
The large or the wide-lipped lady and
Oh,
her
it's Aerosmith.
wide-lipped father.
Yeah. Aerosmith, Steven Tyler, Liv Tyler.
They have a very unique face. The Tyler family.
Yeah. You know, they didn't. Steven Tyler didn't know about her until she was like, I think, 16 or 17 years old.
I'm going to say a lot of those musicians don't remember large chunks of part of their lives.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the mother probably could have told him earlier, but didn't tell him until she was like, 16, 17 years old. And then, I don't know what, maybe she wanted to be an actress or something, so that helped. Now she's got a career.
I'd say she's okay. I mean, I don't have any major complaints with her Eowyn or, Eowyn and Armageddon are about the only two I've seen her in.
She was in Better Off Dead. Oh wait, is it Better Off Dead? No. Well, maybe. She was in one of those movies with John Cusack. The one with the Say Anything. She was in Say Anything.
Comic book Bob says she was in The Strangers.
Strangers.
Mr. E. Knott says, OMG, y'all are still raging. Wild animals.
Raging.
Well, I am a
Raging
redneck,
Cajun.
and I am off. And
Wow, it is really windy right now.
are you doing more of that flatulent stuff?
Not lately. I meant outside.
Uh-huh. Let's see. Miss Claudia Acosta says Liv Tyler is now in Warlots? Warlets?
I don't know what that is. Horlots? Is that right? Or is that wrong?
I'm not sure.
Are you calling her a whore?
With the power of Google,
Liv wasn't in anything with John Cusack. She was in Empire Records. I think that's what you mean, Mike. Who was in Say Anything? Now I gotta look it up. Who was the girl in Say Anything?
who was the girl and what does she do? Gotham Knight says gas levels rising.
Ione Sky. Okay. Sorry. I got him confused.
El Rodimus got that at about the same time. Ion Sky was the girl in Say Anything. Oh, Miss Claudia Costa says harlots. Sorry. Do you know there actually is a warlots?
Harlots. They're harlots. That's what she's trying to say. They're a bunch of harlots.
Let's see, Harlots TV series. Is that what it is? 3 seasons? It doesn't really look like it's my jam.
Nah.
But Liv Tyler is in it as Lady Isabella. Started in season 2.
Good for her. It's nice to see she can get work this late in life.
Kickboxing, sport of the future, says El Rodimus Flash. Hey, Jiminy. He wants to know
Well, let him know.
an awful redneck and a very awful redneck.
You know what? I should probably quit. It is past midnight.
You've gotten pretty far.
I got one rock wall done. I got one character done, so I can get the rest of this done. Tomorrow... What is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Wednesday. Tomorrow is Star Wars Drawn and Quartered.
Yep. Tomorrow is church for this redneck. And I always get done about an hour before you guys start.
Ah.
So pretty good timing.
Midweek service, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The lady, she does the weekend shift. And so sometimes I'll take the boy on Saturday or Sunday, but generally it's a Wednesday thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just agreed to doing those Bible studies again this next semester, so...
Well, good. Are we going to get another John's Good News type situation?
I don't know what the church itself is doing. I did enjoy that. It did give some sort of a structure to the show. So I don't spend the first 20 minutes talking about Star Wars or some stupid thing.
X Factor says the mob scene was crazy. I assume he's talking about the Game of Thrones thing. And I'd like to know, whoever colored that, did they like send you a message and say never again?
It hasn't been colored yet that I've seen.
He looked at it and quit.
Yeah, right?
You're not paying me enough. Miss Claudia Acosta wants to know, did you like Watchmen? I like it, but most people hate it.
I've only seen the first episode, and I'm still not sure about it. I don't quite get the correlation to the actual Watchmen yet, so I don't want it to be spoiled, so I don't say anything, but I'll probably watch through the first season.
Yeah, to be determined. X Factor says, my wife loved it. She got into Watchmen as I was getting out of it. And Jiminy says, hashtag taking the boy. That's right. He's my only boy. Got to take him. I'm actually one of several, and my dad is one of 13, and my mom is one of 9. But there were different plans for me. One was all I could do physically, so got to take care of him.
And possibly all you could manage.
It could be. That might be why I was only allowed one.
Just make one good one.
The original plan was 3, but that didn't work. Now, I will say, though, my oldest brother is adopted, and so I got no problems, getting a few more adopted.
Yeah.
I just got to, being self-employed, they look at you and they're like, self-employed. Don't like you.
Yeah, I don't know why they make it so hard to adopt kids in this country. That's why everybody goes to Russia and China and Mexico and Belize. Just bring it home in their suitcase and be like, yeah, this one's mine.
And I mean, my assets versus my debt, ridiculous. I don't understand why they just look at the fact that I'm self-employed.
Maybe it's because you think for yourself. They don't like that.
Don't fall in line.
Yep.
X Factor says Mike's mob scene for Clash of Kings cover. I can't wait to see the final product.
Me too.
250 people in that, something like that.
Something like that. I didn't count them myself.
I think 7 took the time. I guesstimated it at close to 200, and he went all the way. X Factor says, I'm about to get the Dunkin' Egg books.
Nice.
Looking forward to seeing some of Mike's work.
Right on. Well, make sure you get Lone Star too.
Lone Star.
Lone
There's a
Star.
war wagon on the ocean.
War wagon on the ocean. Let's get that link in there.
Yeah, Elijah is well rested now, so playing Age of Empires. Edwin's playing?
Not with me,
I remember when Edwin used to come on with me to the wheel hours of the morning to stream, but now he's always on Age of Empires.
He's studying. I think he's AFK a lot too on Age of Empires.
Hmm.
yeah.
Comic Book Bob says, play 7 Days to Die.
No.
Elijah and I have played some 7 Days to Die, but Mike just made fun of us for it.
It's boring.
We didn't
Boring.
die in 7 days.
I didn't like it.
On the 7th day, it got a little more interesting for sure.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Is I want to play a game where 6/7 of it is boring, and then it gets a little more interesting on the 7th part.
Just can't entertain it.
I think the point is, it starts getting really hard, and so it gives you some time to build up. But the first 6 days are too easy to be exciting, for sure.
Yeah, I'll pass. My time is more valuable than that.
Mike has a nice machine, and he uses to play Age of Empires.
That is correct.
And that is a good game. Tuck has been having a blast with it.
Yeah, I look forward to playing again when I'm not quite as busy doing things I have to do.
Let the record show that I tried to tempt Mike into playing Age of Empires, and he wanted to be a responsible adult.
That's right. It's like being a slave in Gladiator. Remember that line?
The Slave in the It's been a while. That's another one of those movies where I really enjoyed it the first time, but I'm not sure if it would hold up so well.
Dude, I've seen that movie so many times and it holds up.
Okay. You got me sold.
So anyways, the slave is asked if he's happy, and he says sometimes I do what I want to. The rest of the time I do what I have to. I thought that's just life, man. That's
Yeah.
just life.
Yeah. One is more of an illusion of freedom, I guess. Miss Sharon says, good night, people. Bedtime, great art. Mike, blessings to you all.
Good night, Miss Sharon. Thank you very much.
Good night, Miss Marlowe. And X Factor says he's a new fan. I thought he was kind of new. Caught you on the Order of the Green Hand, rewatching an old live stream Mike did with them like 2 years ago. Watch the mob scene as Mike drew it. I'm hooked. Watching greatness work.
Right on, right on. I hope you are subscribed and will be here regularly.
Yes, sir.
We are a fun little community of knuckleheads.
Never a dull moment.
Well, that's not true.
Now, even what you might consider dull is interesting.
By some standards, we're quite dull. By some standards, we're the most exciting show. No, not really. Whatever.
Ray Thulu says it's too bad Mike is terrible at fighting games. Mike playing Injustice would draw a crowd.
I didn't say I'm terrible at it. I said I don't like them.
And X Factor says, I am, and I'm catching more and more.
Sweet. You know, I drew X Factor back in the day. The comic book. I don't know if your X Factor is more to do with the video game or the TV show.
Miss Claudia Acosta says, well, guys, it is better that I say goodbye before I fall asleep. I have to start to close my
I'm
eyes.
putting people asleep.
Thank you for the great time, everyone.
Thank you. We shall see you anon.
Have a good one, Miss Claudia.
It's
And
gamer
Ray
tag
Thulu
on
says good night.
Xbox. My gamer tag on Xbox is Underdog Mike, bruh. Hook it up.
Xbox.
Xbox.
Fun fact about me. I'll start with the first. I had an Atari 2600. That was my first system. And I got everything but the Sega side of things until the PlayStation 2. And consoles were dead for me after that.
My first was Pong, and then the 2600, and then the 400, and then no. The 800 came first. Wait, the 800 and the 400.
Really? Using trebuchets on my bear.
And what else did we have? Super NES. Let's see, when I moved out on my own, I got the Saturn, PlayStation. I don't think I ever had a Genesis.
Now, was it the Saturn that did what Nintendo don't?
Huh?
The Sega Saturn? It was one of the Segas that does what the Nintendo don't. The Nintendo. It was their slogan for a little while.
I don't remember. I just remember I could play Virtua Fighter 2 on it, or Virtua Fighter on it. And, oh my gosh, what was it? There was a zombie shooting game. Virtual Cop? No, not the zombie shooting game. But there was a shooting game. I think it was Virtua Cop.
Well, I've got a bunch of good old memories. Final Fantasy 1 for the NES was one of my most favorite ones. I still play that about once a year.
House of the Dead, that was good.
House of the Dead. They made a movie of House of the Dead, I believe.
Yeah?
Low budget, but worth watching once, in my opinion. I think beyond being attached to the video game, though, I don't think they did much else. And then, I mean, everybody in their dog has played Super Mario Brothers, I guess.
Yeah. I got the PlayStation because of Resident Evil. I saw it at a mall, and that game was on there, and I'm like, dude. So I bought it right then and there.
You remember when places like Walmart and others would actually still have the consoles out for people to play?
Yeah.
And about 9 times out of 10, I'd get a controller that was all jacked up. Comic Book Bob says House of the Dead was an awful movie, and he's probably right. But I have a sweet spot for zombie movies, and so I'll watch pretty much any zombie movie as bad as it might be, at least once. I don't know. I love zombie movies. And Resident Evil, I think, started me on the zombie kick. And George Romero's Not a Living Dead. Holy cow.
How about Return of the Living Dead?
The guy that came up with Return of the Living Dead, that's the one where they're always eating the brains.
Yeah.
He had something to do with Romero's zombies, but they got into it, and so they split or whatever.
Oh, yeah?
And for whatever reason, if you go back and look, I think Return of the Living Dead is one of the only zombie flicks that have ever depicted zombies wanting brains. But they made it famous.
Yeah. I know you're in there. I can smell your brains.
That genuinely freaked me out that those zombies could talk and stuff.
Send more paramedics.
I'm going to have to watch that again sometime. I hadn't seen those since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
George Romero is a legend, and his later work wasn't that great, but it was still good. But I mean, it's hard to keep that lightning in a bottle and keep doing it. Everett Todd says he kind of misses playing tabletop Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, do it.
Yeah, I had about a 3-year stint where I played it all the time, and then I started working. So from about 11 to 14, I played it all the time. Second edition. That's how old I am. I think they're on like edition 5 or something crazy now. But I don't know. It lost its charm for me. I love reading about it, the lore and all that good stuff, and like reading the modules. That stuff's pretty cool. Comic Book Bob says they play Dungeons and Dragons on Chester Busby's channel every Tuesday. Well, that's interesting.
Is it though?
Depending on how they do it, it might be fun. I don't know.
I haven't seen Chester in here in forever. What's going on?
Who?
Chester. He used to be a regular on here.
That is a question. X Factor says he's been a gamer since '89. I was 4 and my dad brought home a Nintendo and I was hooked. Nintendo 64 and GoldenEye was my first shooter game.
Yeah. That was great.
Me and my brothers played GoldenEye very hard for probably about a year.
I played it on the was that the first Xbox? I think I played it on the first Xbox.
Oh yeah, they ported it to the Xbox?
I think so. Cuz I don't remember having the N60. Gosh, did I have it? I don't remember. I had a whole bunch of systems. But I remember playing it on my wall cuz we had a projector hooked up. Playing it on the thing, so all right, I did a bunch of rocks. So Comic Book Bob's first system was also Pong. Oldies but goodies, they call us.
You couldn't pay me to play Pong.
You know what? When that was all there was, that's all there was.
When that's all there was, I was in the junkyard making bicycles. Yeah, I got the scars to prove it.
No, you're not old enough to remember when that's all there was. Because I barely remember when that's all there was.
Oh, man, I remember all kinds of fun stuff. You got to keep in mind, rednecks, we were like 10 years behind everybody.
Oh.
And so, I remember having to go outside. We got 3 channels, but only if we went outside and twisted the antenna. We had a big antenna outside.
Hmm.
And so, if we twisted it one way, we got channel 6. And if we twisted the other way, we got channel 8.
Yeah, we had the little box where you just turned it to the thing and then it just turned on the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The wooden TVs.
Yeah, it was in a wooden box.
And we had a party line until I was a teenager.
Huh.
And we had a rotary phone until I was a teenager. Shoot. We had a wood stove all the way up until I graduated high school.
The old rotary phone.
We didn't get central heat and air until I was 18. And of course, I moved out when I was 18. So,
All right, well, I'm wrapping this up. Bo, thank you for being here. Thank you for reading my chats.
yes, sir.
I'll see all of y'all tomorrow for one thing or another. Drawn and quartered, 7 o'clock. Not sure if I'll do Mandalorian live watch before that, but maybe. I got a lot of stuff to do. So, thanks for being here. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Tell a friend is probably the most important part. Tell a friend.
Every friend helps.
Every friend has a friend. Bye, friend.